The Fairfield Stags come into today's contest with one of the toughest scoring defenses in the country. Winners of 7 of their last 9 games, senior Sabre Rice looks to help her Stags teammates notch another victory. But to do so, they'll have to defeat Sienna and the second leading scorer in the MAC, Laura Menti, as well as erase the memory of Melissa Manzer's big shot in last year's MAC tournament. Will the Stags be victorious? Stay right there. Fairfield, Sienna starts now. Welcome to Alumni Hall, located here on beautiful Fairfield University campus, located in Fairfield, Connecticut, as the Stags get set to defend their home court against the Peacocks of St. Peter's in an in-conference MAC basketball matchup. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Bob Morales, and this is Stags Pregame. As alluded to earlier, the Stags and the Peacocks did match up earlier this season, and it was a thrilling one in Jersey City, New Jersey. For those of you who weren't able to catch the action live, don't worry, we'll get you caught up on all the dramatics, as this is how that one unfolded.
St. Peter's by 2 with 39 seconds remaining. With the ball in his hands and a chance to tie or take the lead, John Hahn gets the step on Jenkins, blows past him, and he's able to stroll in to tie up the game at 68. Hahn with 8 points in the final 2 minutes of the game. St. Peter's holds for the last shot. Leon takes it, and it's missed. Warren Edney dives on the loose ball into the pile as the buzzer sounds. So after 4 ties and 6 lead changes, put 5 on the clock because we're going to overtime. Right off the tip, the Stags able to get the ball down low to Marty O'Sullivan, who draws the foul on Soule, his last, as he fouls out just like Johnson did. Soule with 14 points, 18 boards, 11 of which were offensive, and 3 blocks on the night. But without Soule, the Stags take advantage in OT. Freshman Warren Edney with 3 of his 11 on the night with that one. Stags lead 71-68. The lead is 3 with just over a minute remaining OT when Hahn hits the 3. And the Stags are up by 6. With 43 seconds remaining, once again, ice in his vein. Hahn takes it to the hoop, strong, counted, and the foul. With this one, he's able to put the game out of reach, and the Stags steal one away from St. Peter's. Final score, Stags 89, Peacock 79. Coach Cooley happy to see his Stags walk out of the building with a win. For John Hahn, an incredible night, 24 points on 10 of 13 shooting and 9 assists to lead all scorers, and most importantly, he leads the Stags to victory.
All right, so that victory against St. Peter's, one of 5 victories for the Stags this season, and interestingly enough, all 5 wins have been come from behind victories. We see a couple of double-digit deficits on that one right there against American. They trailed by 11, by 14 against Sacred Heart, and 11 against Loyola, but able to come up with W in each of those games. So they certainly have shown the ability to battle from behind. All right, Coach, your team has played very impressive basketball this season. Talk about maybe the philosophy that you've instilled in these young women to produce the type of results that you're getting.
Sure. Well, what we've tried to focus on is team play. We try to preach to them that it starts on the defensive end of the floor. And if we can defend night in and night out, we can be competitive, irregardless of how we're doing offensively. On the offensive end, we've tried to have an offense that hopefully doesn't turn the ball over too much, gets high percentage shots. But I think that Iona is going to have different ideas today with their style of play.
They certainly are an offensive-minded team. Now, you guys have had success on the season with your overall record, but 4 of your 5 losses have come in the MAC. Can you talk about maybe what you might see as a possibility of why that has been the case?
Well, I think early in the year we were able to kind of sneak up on some people, especially with non-conference opponents, considering we had a brand new coaching staff and our style of play is slightly different this year. And, I think that the kids did a great job of buying into what we wanted to do early on. Whereas in the conference, all the coaches are very familiar with the personnel on our team. So what they obviously tried to do was try to take away some of our strengths, but I think our kids have responded really well winning these last 4 games.
Absolutely. Now, you alluded to it a little bit earlier, but your team ranked 12th in the nation in scoring defense, so you guys have been superb with that as well. But this offensive team for Iona, they have a juggernaut of a team in terms of their ability to score. So talk about your emphasis on defense in this game, trying to keep up the pace that you guys have been at this season.
Sure. I think that Iona is going to be a big challenge for us because not only do they have a very good starting 5, they've got quality depth at every single position out there. And they like to play a full court game. But I think the biggest concern for us today is going to be their defense. They do a great job of pressuring the ball. They're going to change defenses on us constantly. So I think it's a matter of we're going to run when we've got the opportunity, but we've got to be able to play a solid half-court game as well. We need to be able to dictate the tempo as much as we can today.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot for your time, and good luck in today's ball game.
Thank you, Bobby.
And welcome back to our coverage of Stags basketball, as we are currently at intermission of this conference matchup between the Fairfield University Stags and the Niagara University Purple Eagles. Currently, the Fairfield Stags lead this one by 4 points at the half. 38-34 is our score at intermission. We're going to take a look at some of the highlights in the first half, as there were a few interesting storylines that did and did not pan out. The Stags had the hot hand going with Anthony Johnson, who leads the Stags scoring effort. He has 12 points on the evening. There we see him again with a nice pass from Hahn, receiving and finishing like a true champion. There he goes, taking it up strong, taking the contact and putting it down. That one there with authority, the slam. So he led the way for the Stags. On the other hand, Sharon Fisher, the nation's third leading scorer, did not quite play the way he wanted to. He's only 3 of 10 from the field. You saw a miss there, barely grazing the rim on that effort. Here he is attacking the hoop, but he got sloppy with it, ball taken away. And once again, he was being shut down by the Stags defense. But he had some help from Lewis, who is mainly the reason that the Niagara Purple Eagles are in the midst of this ball game right now, because he is leading all scorers. Right now, he's got 16 points. So Lewis doing a fantastic job for the Niagara Purple Eagles. So that's the first half action for you. We are now going to throw it to our Stags Spotlight. Our own Rory Duyan had a chance to sit down with head strength and conditioning coach Mark Spellman and talk about nutrition and training at the collegiate level. Let's enter the Spotlight.
Let's send it to Bobby as he talks to Rick about what he thinks the Fairfield keys in the second half will be.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. Coach, frantic pace in the first half, but you guys were able to hang in there. Talk about maybe the best defense kind of being the best offense in getting Thompson in foul trouble and getting him out of the game.
Absolutely. The thing we really want to do is we want to slow the game down. We want to limit their threes. You know, they're shooting 70% from the three-point line, so we got to get out there and contest it, and hopefully the big guy doesn't hurt us too much.
How big was it that some of your bench players stepped up, guys like Marty O'Sullivan, even Jeff Middleton, came in and put up some big minutes for you guys?
You know, that's always big. Anytime you get somebody off the bench to step up for you, you have a good chance of winning. So that was big, of course.
Lastly, what can we look for in terms of adjustments in the second half, Coach?
We're going to defend the three better. We got to close out. We got to get a high hand up. We got to make their shooters into drivers.
Thanks for your time and best of luck in the second half,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Back to you, Bob and Joe.
All right, Bobby.
And welcome to the arena at Harbor Yard as we wrap up our coverage of our doubleheader here this evening. It was a rough day for Fairfield overall, as both their teams have lost today. The men earlier to the Niagara Purple Eagles, and the second of the doubleheader, the Fairfield Stags, lose this one 64-57 was the final score in that one. It was a bit of a tough battle. The Stags came out a bit ice cold. They shot under 20% in the first half, and although they mounted a number of mini comebacks sparked by Bindle Lowenthal, they just couldn't get over the hump. They had cut it to as little as 4 points, but a couple of daggers there by the Iona Gales in the closing moment, and that sealed the victory for them. So the upcoming schedule looks like this for the Stags. They will be hosting Niagara and Canisius here, familiar territory at the arena, and then they will travel to face this exact same team, the Iona Gales, at their home gym. That will be on February 8th, before returning home to face Manhattan and Siena to round out their next 5 games. So that pretty much does it for our coverage here at the arena. Be sure to tune in to our next broadcast on February 16th as the women host Siena and the men host Ryder. So we'll have that action for you then. For Bob User, Joe DeSantis, John Cummings, Maria Conley, and the entire production team here at the arena, I'm Bob Morales signing off. We'll see you next time.
Jason Thompson joined by Bobby Morales.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. Jason, big-time game, big-time performance. So much emotion running through the crowd. Your family was here, senior day. Just take us through that bit of what you're going through out there and, of course, coming up with the big victory.
Oh, it was a lot of emotion. Coming off a big win against St. Peter's on ESPN really gave us a lot of confidence. And it really meant a lot to the fans and the seniors. You know, it's our first time that we didn't have our starting 5 starting. We had 4 seniors and my brother playing. And there's a lot of emotion, sold-out crowd. And you know, when we have a sold-out crowd at the Bronx, it was hard for us to lose, and we came out with a big W.
You definitely proved that today. Now you guys enter in this, the MAC tournament. Talk about how excited that you are at the opportunity to possibly play in the NCAA tournament if you guys handle your business.
Yeah, it's real exciting. You know, my freshman year, we made it to the MAC championship, and we were a couple minutes away from having that feeling. And you know, this is my last year, my last MAC tournament, and you know, I want to be known as a winner, not just a guy that puts up big numbers, but I want to come out on top in the MAC tournament.
Absolutely. Now, lastly, Jason, you guys were defeated by Fairfield at their home court, but you guys returned the favor kind of emphatically with the win here. Talk about the possibility of maybe what a matchup in the MAC tournament might imply in terms of these two teams and the emotions running high.
Yeah, definitely. Fairfield's a real young team, but they're real scary, and they'll be scary in the MAC tournament. They gave us a good game up at their place and beat us, and they had a hot streak, 7-game win streak coming in here, and we knew we had to play with a lot of energy to snap that streak, and we did that with a lot of energy and just playing hard and getting stops and rebounds.
Oh, you certainly did. Congratulations on the win, Saber, and go cut down that net.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Back to you, Bob and Joe.